Sudan's Rapid Support Forces express readiness for peace talks in Juba. Regional leaders discussed developing transport infrastructures in South Sudan, Kenya, and Ethiopia. And thousands of people gathered in Lanya to mark the SPLA Day. Hello, good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to Ssbc. My name is Matiang Joseph. We begin this bulletin with the crisis in Sudan, where President Kiir met with the special envoy of Rapid Support Forces, Yusuf Izzat, who arrived in Juba on Wednesday to brief the President Kiir on their views on the conflict in the Sudan. A team from IGAD, led by the Executive Secretary, also met the President for dialogue towards restoration of peace, unity in their country. Ssbc's Alejandro Lotok reports.
As the war in Sudan rages on unabated, a special envoy of the Rapid Support Forces, Yusuf Izzat, arrived Juba on Wednesday to brief President Kiir on the current situation in Sudan. Speaking to reporters after briefing the president on the situation, Yusuf Izzat says General Mohammed Hamdan Daglo is in full support of the IGAD. This, he said, would open up humanitarian corridors in Khartoum and other areas.
الجنوب ليس دولة جوار، الجنوب دولة أكثر من شقيقة جنوب وطننا، يعني نحن شعبين في دولة واحدة. أنا وجدت الرئيس سلفاكير متفهم لطبيعة الصراع، لطبيعة الحرب اللي دارت خلال الشهر ويومين، وأحرص الناس على إيقاف الحرب، على الوصول لاتفاق لوقف إطلاق النار وبدء عملية سياسية يكون فيها حل لأزمات السودان ولوقف الحرب بشكل دائم في المنطقة. طبعا دولة الجنوب طرحت، أو الرئيس الفاكر من أول المبادرين بطرح لقاء بين قيادة الجيش وقيادة الدعم السريع في جوبا. نحن وطرح وقف هدنة، نحن التزمنا بالهدنة في مواقيته وبالعموما وما غاد للحرب، ونتمنى أنه يساهم في وقف الحرب، وهو أبدأ استعداده للعب أي دور، ونحن بنرحب بهذا الدور لدولة جنوب السودان ولرئيسها ولقيادتها، إنه تلعب أي دور ممكن في وقف إطلاق النار، في الوصول لسلام دائم في السودان. دور مرحب به جدا من طرفنا. نحن حملنا رسالة خاصة من قائد قوات الدعم السريع للسيد الرئيس واستقبلها وتفهمها. شرحنا الوضع الميداني في الخرطوم وفي الولايات والوضع الحقيقي على المستشفيات غيره، ففي دعايه بروباغندا كثيره بتاعت حرب، ووضحنا
But the most important is that IGAD
national institutions. In his closing remarks, Dr. James Waniga called on the SPLA members to cooperate and embrace unity of purpose to achieve the party agenda.
We should not leave heavy stone, heavy work on one individual. Otherwise, at the end of the day, he will fall like no. Let us not allow this to happen. So don't leave all the work here. I know government. I should reach the same president of the state. No, this is wrong. One day you will also be the government. One day you will also be the chairman of this. One day you will be something. And if you do that, come on, we are doing it. So all that we have to do is to cooperate. Yes. Let us cooperate in all cases.
The governor of Central Equatorial State, Emmanuel Adil Anthony, who is the state SPLM chairperson, called on the party members to reconcile and forgive one another to move the country forward.
And if you have done anything, I am equally forgiven you, and each of us will forgive ourselves. This forgiveness, we should take it from here to all our counties, payans, and bombers. Those of you in the next
of SPLA punctuated with revolutionary songs and dances. Addressing the crowd, SPLM First Deputy Chairman Dr. James Waniga reports.
The celebration was under the theme Toward for Peace and Development in Lanya County. The event is held each year to remember the sacrifice made by 2 million people who died during the long civil war in Sudan before South Sudan attains its independence in 2011. This year in Lanya County, many people are calling on the national government, developmental partners, and people of goodwill to support the people of Lanya County, especially the widows and orphans that left behind. In his keynote address, Vice President Dr. James Wani Iga says the government will disarm civil population across the nation to end the intercommunal conflict in the region. He says the conflict has affected the infrastructural development in Lanya County.
Ai so pe kain do ina be roja musika kelia mulo amara geli ku dokan wana siku moksutin sika yao ora tabagara yonda kena wa lenga mana senti dikorjon madaris yaude orade yibitalia yaude orade lakini turua wala sakila mini alibeno arobatasa ela bele dega penal kanaja istaka fisika bemederesa.
The National Minister of Agriculture, Josephine Nafon, has appealing to the government to increase the salaries of the armed forces that fought and died for the freedom of South Sudan.
Our security, our defense, we need to look after our defense and especially our army. Your Excellency, may he be told, Laz and Pelizulu, may he have a sacred medicine, may he be sick. Asafiri yani nasa zulumu di Sudan, muanin lumian, endum nuswan, iya lede rap medesa, iya lede rapolo. Fa anna ka leaders beta Sudan, kede na numodo beta asake. Lanya mayei mamagui, iya mahal alkandi saadu Juba. Ati kuru kandi di buminini, asa Juba biga jana. Kita rija na skulu afijake.
The governor of Central Equatorial State, Emmanuel Adil.
Wana kararna kullu bomado kayamat bitana kun fogo salafu isoya rusa. Wai nukta muhim ikararade anagile woman bini na jarabes. Nina karero ikun fogo telmia ukadamat na bana hayata na jadid min harbal waka bele bitana lazman muanin itim وديلو مكانات ده جزء من القرارات اللي نوافق فوقه بمؤتمر وتاني إن قالنا بجانب كنا مسيلة انتخابات سنة الجاي نحن نريد شاب تعالى كل وجه ورئيس سلام مسانين دي برنامج كبير جاي وانا بقولكم ده كلامنا تعرفه.
Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Lanya County on the government to bring lasting peace.
Security with Lanya. O Muhammad, ujabi tako filanya, mini mitnasar, lahada lela, akadino lanya, depere bita salam, nas bita lanya, nas bihibu salam. Bila albenta la tasar o sitasar, nehakarabo lanya. Wahid, naboy nufusna, minharkat bita tumurut. Nimara 2 mana saja waino bitatumuru dan bijibu karaba pembele. Nimara 3 mana beli fursa lezotani kaunu tumuru bito ujibu hiji dusu pembele bitana.
SPLM fought for 21 years to free the people of South Sudan in 2011. Now the people of South Sudan are now free citizens in their own country. Bravo to the founding father of SPLM, late Dr. John Garang Di Mabior, the current chairman and president of the Republic of South Sudan.
Crossing anniversary of the reports.
In her key address, the governor of Western Bahr al-Ghazali State, Sarek Electoral, sympathized with the souls of the martyrs who sacrificed their lives for the sake of achieving freedom and independence of South Sudanese. She affirms the government's commitment to implement the peace agreement in the state.
Salute to our and thank them for giving us our freedom. And let us take the pledge to protect the peace and unity of our great nation.
The acting Speaker of the State Assembly, Luis Pascual Aleu, appeals to the public to stand behind the government of national unity in order to promote peace and peaceful coexistence.
الرسالة الأولى للمواطنين بهذه الولاية يا أخوانا أن احنا نعمل جادا للسلام والتعايش السلمي، لأنه بدون السلام الحكومة زار ما بيقدم لنا خدمة بين المواطنين كافة.
The State Minister of Cabinet Affairs, Elia Camilo Dimo, applauded.
أطمن الجنرال قوم إنه إحنا ما حنسيل الإسبالي كحقنا، لكن إحنا كإسبالي يا جنرال أكثر حزب فخور بكم أنتم.
The SSPDF Division 5 Commander Major General Abraham Gum Makwach appeals to the SSPDF personnel to abide by their constitutional mandate duties to protect human rights and stay away of politics.
As we are celebrating our day, I am calling upon all of you to consider ourselves as one in uniform. There should be no SSPDF, SPLIO, or SOA. We are all in uniform.
The 16th May celebration was colored with a marching and a military pride from various units of the organized forces and students from primary and secondary schools.
And coming up, SSPDF 2nd Infantry Division celebrates SPLM SPLA Day in Malakal in a full military style. Stay tuned for more information. We are going for a break.
And I said it many times, that this country will not go back to war again under my leadership. I still maintain that word, and I will maintain it for tomorrow, next year, 10 years to come. If I'm alive, I will keep it.
Along by the tainted waters of hatred, tribalism, regionalism, ethnic difference. It is time to sail. It is time to sail together towards the future. Together. Let us not forget this word, together.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in. From Wau, let's move to Malakal of Upper Nile State, where the SSPDF 2nd Infantry Division, known as Rhino Battalion, marked the 40th anniversary of the founding of SPLM-SPLA on 16 May 1983. A state advisor on peace and security, Athiep Okech Ajak, says the day reminds South Sudanese of the bitter struggle for independence. And the State Information Minister, Luke Sadala, described 16 May as a redefining moment from oppressors.
شايفين بسيط وشايفينه صغير لكن المعنى بتاعه كبير. في المعنى بتاعه كبير. ليه بيقولوا في السوشيال ميديا في وسائل الاعلام بانه قياده بتاعت راينو ديفيجن 2 عملوا احتفال بتاع يوم 16 في ولايه عالمين منطقه بتاعت ملكال. ده ما دار الكلام. مبروك لكم، مبروك للجيش الشعبي.
وانا داير اذكر للشعب بتاع النيل بصفه خاصه والشعب جنوب السودان بصفه عامه ان هذا اليوم يوم تاريخي لولا 16 مايو نحن ما كنا محررين أنفسنا. لولا 16 مايو
Launched 11 years ago to connect South Sudan, Ethiopia. Taban Dengai described the project as a milestone to link the eastern and western part of the continent.
The LAPSET program is a milestone transport infrastructure program, also known the land bridge across the African continental, linking East Coast to the west coast of the continent. LAPSET corridor. The program is one of the 11 African Union Presidential Infrastructure PCI.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Deng Dao Deng, assured his ministry commitment to implement the outcome of the meeting.
Remember that the other
of connectivity and integration.
The LAPSET corridor presents a great to address some of the challenges the continent.
European Minister.
These mega projects desire joint efforts from all of us.
Berth of the Lamu port and is currently in the process of equipping the port for operations.
The Director of Regional Integration and Trade Division for the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, Stephen Karingi, said they are committed to support the implementation of LAPSET project.
He also wants me to give you the assurance of governmental objectives. He believes that the successful implementation of LAPSET can enhance intra-African trade, trigger employment, improve livelihood, enhance food security, and promote peace and security in the footprint countries.
The meeting is organized by the government of South Sudan with support from the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa.
According to the speakers, LAPSET project will improve business and investment sector as well as creating job opportunities among many other benefits for the countries connected through the project. Dario Marcello, Ssbc.
Moving on, Vice President Rebecca Nyandeng Mabior and IGAD would want to see full implementation.
I have discussed with her about the implementation of the peace agreement as usual, and also informed her that the IGAD Executive Secretary is in town and would love to meet her, and then we discuss of the peace agreement with Her Excellency Rebecca.
Parliament says South Sudan is doing its best to agree
such that the warring parties in Sudan, in our region, really prevails.
The President of the current session and President of the Senate of the Kingdom of Eswatini, Dlamini Leanwe, asked for a series of legislative efforts to improve people's lives and turn the future on right direction out of the current crisis in the African and Arab regions.
The crises which are posing threats to our economies and our countries at large. The two thematic areas of the retreat are true catalysts towards confronting the complex realities which are engulfing our African and Arab countries. Each and every intervention by the various member countries had meaningful insights on the prevailing crisis and all pointed towards a robust legislative interventions with respect to our core parliamentary mandate, which is legislator in bilateral meetings. And today, there will be memorandum of understanding.
Raised many problems in Africa and Arab regions in the nearest future for the sake of future generations. For Ssbc.
As South Sudan continues to engage in the region to work together in addressing the Gule on peace plans for Sudan. Dr. Bolmel and the Djiboutian leader also discussed strengthening bilateral relations between Juba and Djibouti, ports and exports from South Sudan. Center curriculum book has been opened in Juba. We are going for a break. Stay tuned for more information.
Dear friends, it is time to move from words to deeds. It is time to turn to the page. It is time for commitment to an urgent and much needed transformation. The process of peace and reconciliation requires a new start. May an understanding be reached and progress be made in moving forward with the peace accord and roadmap. In a world scared by divisions and conflict, this country is hosting an ecumenical pilgrimage of peace, which is something rare. It represents a change of direction, an opportunity for South Sudan, time for commitment to an urgent and much needed transformation. The process of peace and reconciliation requires a new start. May an understanding be made in moving forward with the peace accord. Difference. It is time to sail.
The Ministry of Finance and Planning has launched the reviewed and updated curriculum book.
Commending UNDP for facilitating the program, which led to the printing of the book. Dier also acknowledges the efforts exerted by technical experts from the South Sudan Center for Strategic and Policy Studies towards implementation of this initiative.
For its implementation, I would like to mention and appreciate the leadership of the resident representative for availing the necessary funding to carry out the project. The South Sudan Center for Strategic and Policy Studies need a special mention for undertaking the successful completion of the review.
Federal Affairs Minister Lasuba Ludoro Wango says the management of the...
The more we concentrate in ensuring that we manage funding resources of the country in a transparent and accountable manner, that actually increases the level of trust and confidence between the government officials, all public officials who are tasked with this responsibility, and the people who entrusted us.
With the South Sudan's government to keep the positive momentum of human resource development across the country, saying the comprehensive nature of the curriculum will link the Government Accountancy Training Center to other government institutions, both the national and state levels.
Let me assure you that the United Nations Development Program will continue to work along to keep the positive momentum of human resource development across the country. The comprehensive nature of this curriculum will link the GNTC to many government institutions at national, at state, and at local levels. It will also give legitimacy to those assigned with the private and the NGO sector.
Abraham Aken, Ssbc News, Juba.
Moving on, government and partners on Wednesday opened lines will enable health professionals to sensitize communities on the importance of immunization. SSBC's Idris Stephen reports.
In a bid to reduce the immunization gap created by COVID-19 in the country, the National Ministry for Health, with the support from health partners, has officially launched the national guidelines for reaching every child with immunization services on Wednesday under the theme Resilient Immunization Program for Equitable Access to Vaccines. The guidelines will help the health professionals to expedite immunization programs equitably to cover a wide range of hard-to-reach areas where many children cannot access vaccines. The Undersecretary for the National Ministry of Health, Dr. Victoria Anib
has launched these guidelines timely
It is being launched at a time where we are integrating COVID-19 vaccination within the routine immunization, and reach every child approach or strategy has been introduced in the country since 2010. Our concentrated efforts.
Immunization, we have seen how we have really saved many lives, but also prevented many disabilities. And of course, we have eliminated a number of diseases too through immunization. So it's really very critical that we strengthen the immunization process. So during COVID-19, we have seen, for example, the increase in number of zero children or unimmunized children. So the launch of this document, of this strategy, is really very timely for us to make sure that we can reach every child, everywhere with the immunization.
And the UNICEF EPI Director, Dr. Victor Sule, said immunization is a primary right of every child, as he reiterates UNICEF and Gavi commitment to support vaccination programs across the country.
Immunization, we know that for every child, to ensure equity and ensuring equity in immunization service delivery.
Meanwhile, the representative of Health Consortium called Momentum, which involved in the formulation of guidelines, Dr. Dan Wendo, emphasized on the full dissemination of
Netherlands are improving water management.
Has been in South Sudan for quite some time and has supported the people of South Sudan in many aspects. And today they are coming back again to provide the same service that they had provided for the people of South Sudan for the last 5 or 10 years back. They are very well and efficient in providing safe and clean drinking. They also have rich knowledge in irrigated agriculture and energy.
Delighted to be here in Juba again, a place where I haven't been since 2007, but to be engaged in some deep and important discussions around how SNB can develop partnerships with the ministry here to ensure more effective, sustainable development interventions with regards to water resource management. At SNB, we worked here extensively from 2005 to 2015. We have a wide range of know-how, particularly emanating from our Dutch roots and our knowledge of water management.
UNISFA has requested government to deploy police in Abia to promote law and order in the area. UNISFA Force Commander Major General Benjamin Olufemi Soya met with the Inspector General of Police General Majaga Kech Malok in Juba on Wednesday. He's speaking to SSBC. UNISFA spokesperson Daniel
law and order within the Abia box. You know, when you talk about the rule of law, the police is very critical, and you will support from his office.
Yes, the Inspector General of Police has just concluded a meeting with a team from Abia, that is UNISFA, headed by the Force Commander. They briefed the IGP about the situation in Abia, and they shared the challenges they are facing, and also they raised the issue of presence of police, so police service in the area to help into
Juba, human rights promotion and protection of human rights in the country.
And this forum has been initiated, to discuss issues in regards to human rights. And the topic is also good to be discussed today because the country is in the process of constitutional
Right Division and civil society.
Our YouTube channel, SSBC Official. For me,
معنى الجالية الصومالية؟
عموما الجالية الصومالية طبعا ناس ولفوا تجارة يعني عندهم خبرات تجارية كبيرة. الناس ديل الجو هنا ده جزء منهم ما جايين من صوماليا، جزء منهم جايين من مدن كبار زي نيروبي، جزء منهم جايين من لندن، جزء منهم جايين من فرنسا باريس. الناس ديل عندهم تجارة حتى في أمريكا. شفت كيف؟ ولفوا كده شنو يشتغلوا يخلوه هنا.
طيب هم سعادتك ما هم عملوا احتكار للسوق مواد بناء ومواد الغذائيه، يعني عندنا واحد من حتى البترول عندنا واحد من المسائل الحيه انه في تاجر اسمه جاموس كان مشى يحجز كميه بتاعت